Welcome back to Cheddar, everyone. Location-based social game Gowalla debuted with a bang at South by Southwest back in 2009, but its growth had flatlined while other social apps like Twitter and Instagram, they took off. But the new year is looking up for the company as it plans a relaunch of the app for spring 2021 and has raised $4 million in seed funding, co-led by MG Siegler at GV and Nabeel Hyatt at Spark Capital. Joining me now is Josh Williams, co-founder and CEO at Gowalla. Josh, great to have you here with us today, and thanks so much for taking the time. What exactly, for those who do not know, is Gowalla?
So Gowalla is a augmented reality social game that inspires people to go out and explore and share their favorite places in the world. And it's something we haven't been able to do a whole lot of lately, and that's why I'm excited about it again.
Okay, so we haven't been able to do a lot of that lately. Why is right now the time to relaunch?
The technologies in our smartphones have evolved so much over the last decade, where obviously the cameras and the sensors can tell us so much about the world around us. And this past year, being stuck inside in our homes, not being able to go visit these places, made me and my co-founder Patrick Pimonti realize that when these restrictions are lifted and America and the world is going to be able to go back out again, there's going to be a lot of desire and demand to go back and visit our favorite businesses, our favorite parks, our places in the world. And we wanted to create an experience again that kind of welcome people back into the world in kind of a fun game-like sort of way.
And so how do you partner then? Do you partner with businesses where people say, if they're saying within Gowalla, hey, yeah, this is where I'm going, or this is where, I've kind of mapped out all the spots that I've visited recently. What's in it for the businesses?
That's right. Well, I think that obviously there's a lot to be gained by local businesses, especially again, as people are able to share like undiscovered gems, the places that again they go that they haven't been able to go to in a while. That's a big part of what we want to do. And I think we saw, 4 years ago when Pokemon Go was launched, there was an incredible surge of people who were using their phone then to go out and be in the real world as opposed to just scrolling a feed on their smartphone. And which was great if you were into Pokemon. And what we're hoping for is something that gains a different sort of audience of explorers and people that are just excited to, be back outside again.
And so you've secured $4 million in seed money. What are the plans to deploy that capital?
So obviously the big thing for us right now is getting this first version of the product out to, a number of densely populated cities in America and around the world. So we'll be using the funds to build out our engineering and design and art teams. Again, it's a game, and that's really important to us. And then to build up our street team in cities around the world. We've already opened that up now. We have several thousand people on the wait list, hundreds that we've already led into the street team, and we see activity even in the early days picking up in places like obvious places like New York, London, Austin, the Bay Area. But even unusual locations like Greenville, South Carolina, where there are already people that are starting to populate our map with their favorite places.
And so just tell us about the street teams part of this game, because I know you mentioned that, and that sounds particularly interesting.
So our street team, well, at the end of the day, it's a social network, a social game. And so that means a lot of the content is created by our users.
A game like a scavenger hunt? Like when I think games, I'm thinking somebody's dropping a beacon, I've got to go to get to that spot in order to claim something.
That's right. You've got the absolute correct idea. So imagine that I have something that I want you to find, a note that I've left for you, or a tip about a place to go, and I can go out and I can leave that, in the real world. And Brad, you get a notification that Josh, hey, he's left something for you here, and then you go to that place and something magical happens. In the camera on your phone, that location comes alive in a way that you haven't seen before, and you're left with something that I've left there for you. And our street team are kind of our early users, our early adopters, if you will, that we're relying on to populate the initial game world for us.
All right, such a pleasure to have you on to discuss this. Josh Williams, co-founder and CEO at Gowalla, and congratulations to you and the team on the fresh seed money that you've gotten.